Thought it might be easier to do a video here instead of a bunch of individual pictures and trying to type everything up. So last night I finally managed to get enough time set aside to get my Exterminator model assembled and painted. I lost an entire day because the arms were wrong, and I can show you here. If you'll look at the forearm, this is my first print, and you can see how it's skewed. I didn't realize that when I was resizing and repositioning the arms, that they were not oriented square on. And so when I was adjusting at different angles, it was actually skewing the model. On the smaller figure, you probably won't notice it, but when I printed it a little bigger, this one is about 5.5 inches tall. If it was standing upright, it would be closer to 6, but since it's in an action pose, it's a little smaller. So I had to go back and redo the whole arms, which cost me a day in printing. So that set me back a little bit, but I did the body as one piece. So the torso and the legs are one piece, and I managed to cut the arms separate. And I can provide that file if anybody's interested. This is the absolute limit of what my printer would do based on the size, and the file was increased to 288% of its original size. And so that scaled up to right at the very edge of my platform, which is Elegoo Mars. So, if I did the arms or the legs and the torso and everything separate, I could certainly do bigger. But I really wanted to capture this pose, which my inspiration was this print that I bought from David Seeley last year. And it's really been my focus for trying to duplicate this. And I wasn't trying to duplicate his version of the Exterminator exactly, but when Joshua asked me to take the files that he had commissioned from someone else and try and fix them up, I had already been working on my own version of the Exterminator, hadn't really gotten as far as I wanted, and between my work that I already had and the files that Joshua sent me, I was able to combined together what I thought was a vastly improved version of either one. This is my version 3. The first two, main difference is the cockpit. I wasn't really happy with it. I ended up taking a Griffin's cockpit and stretching it out and modifying it so that it was a little more of a canopy. I also, I had been following Bishop Steiner's version where I put the anti-missile system on the shoulder, and I went back and realized I didn't really like that as much because I wanted the figure to have, that sleek, symmetrical, stealthy look. So not having a big protruding AMS on the shoulder just didn't lend to it. So I ended up moving it as a ball turret about where this item would be. And so I think it looks good. It's offset to the missile rack. And I know I'm not the best artist out there, so anybody that's way better at jeweling cockpits, I know you'll probably find a lot of things I could have done better, but I thought it was pretty good. Basically, this model is 3 pieces, the arms and the body. The little hoses are springs that I had purchased a long time ago from Japan. They are specifically for doing like hoses on robots. So I drilled these out and stuck them on after I had done finished painting everything. The paint job was actually very simple. It's a white primer. In my case, it was a Mr. Surfacer 1000 for those that are very specific about it. You have to order that online. You can't get it at the local store. Then I did a wash of a watery brown over it. Then I did a wash of a medium gray. And then I went back and dry brushed a little pearl white here and there. And then I did another wash of gray white on top of that to bring down the tones. I wanted it to have a few places where it looked like it could have still been new. But, and then I did a little bit of black wash here and there. Overall, it was a very simple paint job. I tried to, use this print as my inspiration. I know it's not exact, but it's close enough. And let's see what else. Oh, on my version 3, I took the small laser that was protruding out the top of the head, and if you can see it right above the cockpit, it's actually an oval. I flattened it out and I made the small laser recessed up just above the cockpit because I wanted to keep it with that stealthy look. So I tried to do some weathering inside the jets, make them look a little burned. Yeah, I put some heat sinks on the back of the arms or the lasers. I don't know. I kind of thought maybe the power supply would be run differently because of the hoses extended out. Maybe makes it more efficient. I don't know. Somebody that wants to write up a fluff reason why they look like this. I just thought it looked really cool. Anyway, I'm going to build a base for it, and I've ordered some mock explosions that I'll stick on the base and everything, and I'm going to make a shelf. I normally have this picture on my wall with my clear Exterminator there. I'm going to print another version of this, same pose, everything. It'll just be in clear acrylic. And then I didn't know, I thought I might try and partially paint it and leave the other part clear. Maybe I'll do something cool with that. I don't know. I thought about recreating this scene with a, reposed second Exterminator there and maybe a mock tank and scale them down so that it will look proportional. This is just one of my, projects I've had on my plate to do, but finally managed to find the time to sit down and do it. But anyway, I don't want to keep rambling. I hope this helps with any questions on the figure. Again, I'll put this in a file. It is in 3 pieces. Torso legs is 1 piece, and each arm is a separate piece. I printed the torso and legs hollow just to save on some resin and weight. The arms I ended up doing solid because they're just not big enough to make it worth the trouble to do differently. And for this particular one, it is 288% of the original file size. So I just put it into my Cheeto box and scaled it up there. I didn't bother to size it permanently with the actual file. So I will make this file available for anybody that wants it. And I hope you enjoy this. And if anybody else prints it, I'd love to see your version. All right. Thanks a lot.